All right. Welcome there, Logos. We were waiting for you. Were your ears a burning?
No, I've been here for like 10 minutes now.
Nice. Nice. I call bullshit, but nice.
I'm very, very sneaky, sir.
All right. So, as always, let's get this going with a recap. Last session began in the very chill, hot spring-filled lair of the former King of Spring. More specifically, his personal chambers, where Locris pilfers a rather impressive-looking chest. Renwick, of like mind, later stumbles across the Spring King's private liquor stash and helps himself. Alewin, a monster hunter and member of the adventuring party Shades Avian, returns to the lair with dozens upon dozens of gnomes, several Eladrin, and her slightly magically malformed party members, each and every one of them only recently freed from the Spring King's honey goblin curse of servitude. Her party, though now free, do not seem to be reverting back to their normal forms as fast as the others. She then begins fortifying the lair into a sort of temporary HQ, making long-term plans to care for her comrades. Logos and Blade gather much info on the local goings-on from a fiery summer Eladrin and a very depressed winter Eladrin as well. Locris uses a magical fey tapestry to get a gruesome look of the future, while Logos scries on his father, finding him wrapped up in the arms of the unkind queen, struggling to decipher reality, wearing a particular hat, one consisting of not only the finest materials, but also containing a powerful purple crystal that crackles with energy and seems to be exuding some kind of influence over him. After a bit of rest and some more information gathering, the party heads into the nearby ancient and magical autumnal forest in search of the autumn court, and perhaps a way to travel to the winter court and rescue Logos's father. And that is kind of where we are now. So, you guys kind of have just left the Spring King's lair. It's not far. The autumnal forest is maybe a mile's distance, and between you and them is what used to be this honey goblin village. And about at the halfway point or so, you guys kind of begin walking through this village. It looks completely abandoned and in a rush. Even most of the bees have left. There's a few straggling hives here or there, but nowhere near the thriving bee culture that you saw only a day before. And as you guys kind of make your way through this village, you notice that 2 or 3 huts are burned completely to the ground. They're like still smoldering, a bit of smoke and ash. And there are several large craters in the ground in like random places. Something definitely went down here. There's a few burnt buildings, a few large, what you can assume are maybe explosion craters of some kind. But yeah, definitely causes you guys to pause and kind of gaze around. So you continue going through this meadow, this like ancient grassy meadow, and it brings you to this autumnal forest that you guys are familiar with. You've entered it to kind of, well, even though briefly, you entered it to kind of find Alewin and her little monster hut, which you can still see that cabin, only maybe 20 yards beyond this line. But as you step over this grassy kind of area, once again, into this autumnal forest, the sun shoots across the sky. It shoots from a beautiful spring morning to this like orange kind of fiery autumnal sunset, and that's where the sun stays. So, is there anything in particular before we move forward? Like, can I get a little bit of a marching order, as well as is there anything in particular any of you guys would like to do as you guys kind of venture through this forest?
Yes. Little Chris would say, guys, before we go further, I believe that we need some great inspiration. And I took the inspiring leader feat, so I proceed to talk for the next 10 minutes. And that gives everybody 20 temporary HP points.
Damn.
Very nice. Noted.
And I did actually come up with something, but I didn't want to waste too much time.
Hey, if you came up with something, I'm here for it. What do you have more to the speech? Is there something fancy or smartass that you want to deliver?
Yeah, you can't tease us like that. Now you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, we need the full speech.
I don't have it timed out. I don't think it's 10 minutes, but it's, if you really stop and think about it, for a bunch of fuck ups, we're not doing too bad. And let's not be mistaken, we are a bunch of fuck ups. But we've accomplished a lot. I mean, look at Gladeer, our dragonborn paladin friend, who has so many gods that he prays to. His eyes are always closed, which is why he can't see shit going on around him. The first time we fought alongside him, he almost got killed by frogs. And yet, he freed his people from an oppressive queen. And in a twisted sort of way, was even reunited with his sister. We then have Renwick, who was just looking for his father. And during that time, he somehow found a sea monster and he said, "Work for me," and said, "That's a great idea." He pissed off some demon. Don't know why, but I'm pretty sure we'll have to come to that. Yet he returns home and not only frees his father from a dangerous plague, but frees his entire people. If that ain't bravery, I don't know what is. And then myself, who didn't trust anybody. I mean, I was always in disguise whenever I could be. And now, well, I have what I consider 4 friends. I've become heir to a realm and helped destroy an evil vampire master, as far as we know. We have Logus, who came to us as a naive child who had never experienced the real world, who, after a taste of freedom and a taste of what life offers, have gone completely hedonistic. I mean, seriously, dude, nothing screams homeschooled kid like how you are right now. But look at you. You've embraced life. You embraced the world and said, "Give it to me." And now you're in the Feywild, fighting to free your father. And we will. And if not, well, then I'll talk to your mom and I could be your new daddy. And lastly, our wonderful bard, Blade. Blade, well, that's a tale for another time. I mean, think about it. We have really fucked up quite a bit. And then he goes on for the next however many minutes, just explaining how everybody fucked up, but naming one minor mistake to him. Like, ooh, I oversalted a little bit. compared to 10 for everybody else.
That was fucking beautiful, man. I love that. That was great.
If you're not inspired, you don't get the point.
Can I be half inspired, half insulted?
Half inspired and half insulted. Yeah, that's pretty much on the money, dude.
You only get 10 extra hit points though.
But some of the things you said were, a little hit to the gut, but they weren't false, and it's still inspiring at the same time. It's kind of right in your wheelhouse there. It's your sweet spot.
Gladiator, that's the tree. We're over here.
I forgot for Logus, I wanted to include him killing his horse within a day of owning it.
That's right.
That was both Logus and Anthony's cocky attitude biting him in the ass. Lesson learned.
R.I.P. Pony Danza.
But to be honest, for a druid, Logus is terrible with animals.
You've kept.
I think that's how it is. Most druids have like the worst animal handling scores, just like every cleric and paladin has horrible religion scores.
I have great animal handling skills. It's just I forget about them constantly. Like I had that metalwork dog in the fucking hole for like the entire adventure. Just forgot about him in there.
Is he still in there, or did you trade him off for something?
No, I traded him off for this bow I have, which honestly is a good trade.
And he traded.
I forgot about that. Like, ooh, new shiny bow. I guess I'll just give up this dog I've been neglecting.
To be fair, it is a horrible life, and we're both better off.
I'm so happy to have a new master. That he's gone.
He just sits in a dark hole for a month before getting handed off to some random trader.
I mean,
it wasn't a random trader. It was Zariotol. He's probably guarding a vast dragon horde somewhere right now.
Yeah, he's much happier. He's in a much better place.
He did. I think he did say he was gonna like love it. I might be putting that part in there just to make myself feel better, but he did say he was gonna treat it better.
Better than leaving it in a fucking hole.
Poor Gigabraltar. Just in a hole.
Okay. Anyways. So, any other
and then
shenanigans?
After that, Locris would have looked at Blade and said, "Hey, Jukebox, you know that identify spell, don't you?"
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
So, after the Spring King killed, I went into his room and I found a bunch of shit. And why don't we see if we got anything good? And I'll turn over everything besides the gems, all the stuff I found.
Okay. So Blade, Locris provides you with moonstone pendant, a charm bracelet, what looks to be like a fey kind of crown, a bottle of glowing stardust, what looks to be a fey made lantern, a ring that is particular, and a small leather satchel filled with dust. This dust also contains what appear to be like pieces and parts of insectoid-like wings.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're not actually moving yet, are we? Are we?
I would say, yeah, you guys are just to the point where you've kind of crossed into the forest. Imagine a short walk later, you guys are probably flirting with the area of, say, the cabin at this point, right before you guys head in.
Okay, sounds good. So I mean, I can cast identify, and I know we talked about like I can do it as a ritual.
Okay, yeah. If you want to like take the time, everybody will have to stop. You guys won't be able to travel while you do this for sure. But you can like take the time. What is it, like 10 minutes or an hour or something?
I think it's 10 minutes plus the 1 minute of casting time or something like that. So it's
Well,
like 11 minutes
it's
per item.
it's 10 minutes plus casting time. Identify is an
Right.
action, so it's basically 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Okay, so and that's per item, or is it like an
Yep.
area of effect?
I believe per item. Could it be? Could I do it if we were? Because I think if I remember correctly, I had summoned Gabriel. Could we kind of like keep going, and I could just ride on his back and do it?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I allow it.
If it's too far, that's totally fine. I just
No, that makes sense. That's a good way to make yourself comfortable, and your sentient robot donkey can take you up forward, or Gabriel to
Well,
your
if
flying sentient mount from the other world. Both I think would be capable.
If we're taking a moment here, I wanted to ritual cast something as well.
The spell specifies one object.
Okay. So, Blade, I guess I'll have to you tell me what object you would like to start with, and what spell are you planning on casting there, Logos?
I was gonna ritual cast the commune with nature spell.
Okay, okay.
So it's gonna take 11 minutes. You commune with nature spirits and gain knowledge of the surrounding area. In the outdoors, the spell gives you knowledge of the area within 3 miles in caves, blah, whatever. We don't need that right now. Choose three of the following facts. You learn those facts as they pertain to the area, location of any settlements, location of any portals, and location of any powerful creatures, that is celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. And then there's other, but I want to know those three things. The location of a challenge rating 10 plus creature that's within a 3 mile radius of us.
A 30-mile radius?
3 mile.
I'm gonna leave this one up to the dice. That one would be a no.
Okay, so the second would be if there's any locations of portals to other planes of existence within 3 miles of us.
Within 3 miles, I'm gonna leave that one up to the dice too. I'll say there are two locations that ring true for that.
And then the last would be the location of any settlements within that 3 mile radius.
That one comes up empty.
Okay, so I pinged on the two portals. Are they in the same direction, or are they opposite? Like, what direction are they in relation to where we're at right now?
I would say you currently are in between them. A couple miles to the north through this autumnal forest, and a couple miles to the south through this autumnal forest from your location are what you would perceive to be like portals to another realm. Could be the
Do I get
material
the
plane,
sense?
could be Shadowfell. You're not sure which realm.
Do I get the sense that it's kind of in the direction that we're heading?
I would say it's to the north and south of you, and you are definitely heading like east.
Mhm. Interesting. Okay.
Blade, of the moonstone pendant, charm bracelet, the fey crown, the bottle of glowing dust, the fey make of lantern, this ring, and this satchel of dust. Which do you cast the identify spell on?
Hmm.
Well, first, I
Let's
guess.
God damn, if I can remember all this shit. Let's go with the. Let's start with the crown. I'm kind of interested with this.
So you take a look at this crown, and it has some masterfully engraved artwork. It is scenes of there's like a hunter taking down a deer, and on the other side it looks like a busy marketplace, and on another side a hero battles a great monster. This silver crown encrusted with moonstones is known as a fey crown, and this particular crown grants the wearer advantage on all charisma-based checks against lesser fey. So,
Oh shit!
advantage on persuasion and deception, etc., on lesser fey.
Well, it seems like this one kind of gives a boost to um, the charismatic check to the Fae here, lesser Fae. Nothing like what's his name, Stewart. I guess I'll maybe look at the satchel next with the kind of the dust.
Okay, you're gonna another ritual cast as you guys kind of travel. This one is a pixie dust satchel. It has 3 uses. And what it does is it induces levitation as if by the levitate spell, as well as a mild state of euphoria to anyone that you sprinkle it upon.
All right. Well, it seems like this one's got some levitating properties and maybe some euphoricness to it. I'm kind of like handing these back to to Locris, or I can just hold on to them
It's up to you.
wherever.
No, you can hand it back.
All right. Anybody want some levitating dust?
No, I can actually fly now on my own. Maybe Renwick.
I mean, I can hold on to it if you'd like. It seems like it'll come in handy in the future, but I suppose it doesn't necessarily matter who has it. Probably Locris or I, just so we could stuff it into one of the bags of holding.
Yeah, that might
Oh.
be useful as a bartering tool when we get back to the material plane.
Before I forget,
Or if there's just a night where we're feeling particularly low and we need to get high, both literally and figuratively.
when I talked to the plans here, they did let me know that there are 2 portals that go to other planes of existence within fairly close of us, within 3 miles, both north and south direction.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to glance over this. Did you just say what the plants told you?
Yes,
And
the plants.
he kind of
And
cocks his head at you.
And I'll point to like a patch of like crabgrass on the floor. Yes, this fellow here. He's very informative.
Now, is this some face shit where the plants are actually speaking to you, or if you just somehow tapped into a weird sense of magic you didn't have before?
No, he's talking to us now. I mean, he's. Can you not hear him?
I can't. What's he saying? What's his name? Or their names? There's more than one blade of grass. I assume it's a community.
Well, he seems to be the leader. This is Henry.
Henry Crabgrass.
Henry Crabgrass. Yes, yes. Very informative. I mean, they seem to work of some sort of hive mind that they can communicate. Even though they're miles away, they kind of relay information. It's very cool stuff. He says hi.
Well, tell Henry that we're certainly happy to accept the information from him. He seems like a kind fellow. I wish I could speak to him myself.
Yeah, and he also said, "Please watch your step. going forward because it hurts when you step on big tufts of grass like him. So, maybe be a little mindful.
Naturally, I'll do my best. Luckily, I'm rather light-footed.
Wait, so we can't step on the grass now?
No, the individual grass blades are fine, but like Henry here is a tuft of grass, and they're clumped up, so he feels it a little more, especially from you. He said that you stepped on one earlier, Gladier. It's kind of why he's telling me you're a big guy, you're kind of heavy.
Well, of course, he was one to step on it. He can't see a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that grass, just said, hey, please make sure you don't tread on me.
And he said, if you must, it's always polite to ask, before you step. Just let them know. Say, hey, just gotta get through. Don't mean no harm, and you know, of course, if it must go, they'd be happy to, support your weight for a little bit. But just let them know.
All right, I'll keep that in mind going forward.
You've been very helpful, Henry. Thank you for the information. And I like sprinkle a little water on the grass.
You think that means when he watches a vegetable get cut up, he hears it scream now?
Oh,
Locust
probably.
goes dead in the eyes.
Oh my god, that was funny. So, as you guys kind of make your way into this autumnal forest, Blade, do you continue to ritual cast through the items you have?
Sure. Let's see. What else do we get?
It's not burning your spell slots, is it? It's just ritual casting, right?
Right. Yeah, just kind of just sliding through them. I guess the ring?
So, as you look at this ring, it's a gold ring. It has a deer on one side and a leaf on the other, kind of embroidered, magically enchanted, rather. It's masterfully carved. But this mystic ring allows communication with both plants and animals, as well as advantage on nature checks, should you attune to it.
Oh, yeah, now you can talk to Henry, and I'll toss it over to Renwick.
If I'm being honest, I'm not the social type when it comes to plant life. I think I'll leave that to Locus. Because mechanically speaking, I'm attuned to 3 things, and I don't think I'm willing to give it up for
I'd toss it more as a joke.
nature checks. But he looks at it and he goes, "That might fetch a pretty penny, though. I'm assuming none of you need it." So he just kind of slides it in his pocket.
I guess next up I'll check was there a bracelet?
Yes. So you look at this charm bracelet. It's just a simple silver bracelet with some silver charms. All 5 of these charms are a bull, a bear, a fox, an eagle, a cat, and an owl. This charm bracelet, depending on which charm you choose, can cast the enhance ability spell as a standard action. However, you only get 1 of each. So you get 1 bull's strength, 1 bear's endurance, 1 fox's cunning, 1 eagle's splendor, etc., etc. So, but yeah, you essentially have kind of a flavored on the enhance ability spell.
Oh, looks like this one enhances some things. Looks like you only got 1 shot. A couple different things on here you can do, though, which is pretty handy. I'll toss this to Logris just to put in the bag of holding. And there's something with a moonstone, right?
Correct. Okay, this moonstone pendant, as you kind of look over it, it's got a slight, like, real dainty silver chain, this moonstone pendant. But In Moonlight, it allows its user to effectively cast the blur spell once per long rest. So it's like got illusory properties. The blur spell is similar to like how Renwick's cloak works.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
John, did
Well,
the ring, the charm, and the moonstone pendant have specific names, or are they just kind of like ring of nature, charm bracelet of enhance ability?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Ring of Nature, charm bracelet of enhance ability. I didn't pull them out of the DMG. I used the player's handbook. I used the DMG to craft a few things. So they're
Word.
definitely
I just want to
custom.
make sure that I had them annotated correctly.
Yeah, they're definitely custom. So make sure you tell me, because if we refer to it, then we'll be on the same page.
Yeah, I got you.
and I think it was that it? I don't think there was anything else, huh?
You have a lantern and a small bottle of
Oh shit.
dust.
Let's do dust. Dust and lantern.
Okay, so this bottle of stardust, it has a limited amount of uses. It can only be used 3 times, but it is essentially a 3-time use of the shield spell. It can be used as a reaction to cast the shield spell by taking a pinch of this dust and tossing it, sprinkling it upon yourself. And you could do that, as a reaction. So.
That's really dope, actually.
Hey, Blade, you're pretty dope.
I am thinking that you should hang on to that stardust and whatnot. It seems fitting. We want to keep our hype man alive, and you can do it with style. Anytime that you think you're about to get hit, you can just sort of reach in your pocket and go and throw out a bunch of glitter. It'd be quite, honestly, aesthetically pleasing. Add a lot of flair to your fight.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Would there be any objections? Anyone
No,
else
you should
want?
take that. I think I was thinking maybe one of the people, because I was thinking about the pendant, that blur spell pendant. I think either someone who's probably like up close and personal a lot, like maybe Renwick. Well, no, because
Yeah,
you have a cloak that
I've
does that.
got, yeah, my cloak sort of does the same thing and doesn't leave it up to chance. So, I mean, Locris is typically up there with me or you. So, one of the two of you, if he's taking the bracelet, why don't you take the pendant?
Okay. Yeah, because I was just thinking people up close and personal might benefit from having that little extra boost and possibly not getting hit.
Now,
Yeah.
the pixie dust we're just going to add to the sack to hang on to, not to sell necessarily. The ring of nature, I assume we're just putting that in the loot pool, unless anybody wants it.
Well, which item?
Nope. I'd say
The
bullet. The ring of nature, the speak with
Oh,
animals and plants.
I mean, I could
Well,
hold on
unless
to it. I'll hold on to it. I might use it, if it ever comes in handy.
that works for me.
okay. And I guess we'll go with the lantern to finish things off.
So this this is known as the Phalite lantern. It works as a normal lantern would. However, when lit, it makes its holder invisible to Fae.
What?
Now, logistical question here: does it make the holder invisible but not the lantern, or when you light it, are you just basically it creates like a veil around you and the lantern itself? And is it only to Fae? So like we would see the person, but the Fae would not.
So it generates light, but the lantern, as well as the holder of the lantern, would remain invisible. But it's just them, but yeah, they are only invisible to Fae. You guys will be able to see them the entire time.
Interesting.
That's definitely going to be useful.
Do you think this would work if we come across another greater Fae like the Spring King? Because that could come quite in handy.
It probably could, as long as they don't have like a tremor sense or blind sight thing going on. But Renwick, you should probably hold on to that one, because if anybody's going to be doing sneaking, it's going to be you or Logus.
Yeah. Make you guys extra sneaky.
Yeah, I can throw it in my bag, and if anybody needs it, just let me know.
And does anybody have any interest in the crown here? I don't mean to be greedy, but it does kind of suit my style. Silver and all. And then plus I'm not actually attuned to a third item yet, so.
We know you're a princess. Yes, you could dress like one.
Oh, joy. I got my dust and I got my crown. It's a good day.
Is anybody else seeing like Blade is slowly going to come together as Elvis? He's going to have a meteoric rise to fame and then like die sad on a toilet.
Oh no, I hope not.
Oh,
Like he's got
more
his
like a
fancy
Pegasus.
dust now. He's got a crown. He's been pretty much crushing it at every live show. He's got a harem of donkeys.
No, I think he's going out more like Morrison, just high and keel over.
Just goes 100% and just fucking down.
Well, we do have all that Fey liquor that just gets you fucking hammered off of like one or two shots. So I guess we really are setting up for quite the I guess the end of Blade's biography during his arc.
That's the shit that like aged you.
Well, no, I think we. Oh wait, yeah, it does have like some random magical effects to it. So like,
Lucas was like hitting puberty again or something.
yeah, it's like it can make you younger or older. I forget what the other effects that we've seen so far are, but I don't think we know fully like the table of effects. So there's still some random shit that could happen.
Damn. Okay.
So, as you guys kind of continue down this path, something happens that has yet to happen. You guys are walking through this autumnal forest, and the leaves begin to fall. And it's not that the leaves haven't fallen before here and there, it's that when they hit the ground, they, in like a poof of magical sparkles, they're gone. The leaves haven't been sticking, but suddenly the leaves begin to fall in great number. Not enough to be like a detriment to the tree, but definitely enough to kind of cover the ground. And it's puts almost like a moving wall, like a curtain all around you, kind of hampering your guys' vision. As you
I'm gonna
step,
light the Fey light lantern.
okay, go ahead for sure. It's got this like purple waxy candle. And it smells like lavender. as you step into the autumnal forest, or through this autumnal forest, a carpet of vibrant leaves rustles beneath your feet, the colors ranging from fiery reds to warm golds. The air is crisp and fragrant with the scent of damp earth and cinnamon. Sunlight filters through the canopy above, casting playful shadows that dance along the forest floor. Glimmering motes of light flit between the trees like tiny mischievous sprites, leading you deeper into the woods. The occasional sound of laughter, a soft chorus, echoes in the distance, sending a tantalizing shiver of excitement through your bones. Yet, the laughter feels almost teasing, as if the forest itself is aware of your presence. And after several hours of traversing this autumnal forest, you guys come to a wall. It is a fairly large stone wall. It is about 50 feet in height. And as you guys approach, the vegetation at the base of this wall is just super healthy. It is like huge. You're talking roses that are the size of your head, leaves the size of bigger than your arm's bandwidth. Some of them are entirely the size of humans. Just these massive like bushes and flowers and ferns that are all growing at the base of this wall, and they are all huge, like giants to their normal specimens. So tell me how you guys kind of proceed as you come upon this wall.
Is it how high did you say this wall was?
This wall, go ahead and give me a perception check, Logos.
That's a 24 total.
I mean, it's got to be like 50 or 60 feet high.
With that perception, do I notice anything else in the immediate surroundings?
I'd say with over a 20 perception, you notice that a lot of this vegetation, like vines and moss and things, and various like wallflowers, are kind of growing up the wall. But the higher that they go, they look to be getting smaller. And it looks like the top of this wall doesn't have any plants on it at all. Like the plant life hasn't quite reached the top.
And how far to the left and right does the wall go?
With a 24, the wall goes as far as you can see in both directions. In fact, as you guys kind of walked up and you look around, the path that led you here, this clear-cut path through this autumnal forest, gone. Nothing but wild, unfamiliar territory behind you.
Okay, first things first. This wall is about 50 feet high. Blade, do you think you can summon your little friend to take a gander over the wall for us?
Oh, that's no problem. I'm on Gabrielta right now. We can just fly up and look.
Maybe you send your Fae first. Something's kind of not right yet.
All right, if you insist. It'll take me a minute though. Because I think I can't. Oh fuck! I can't remember if I left Archie as a crab or an owl.
Here.
Where the fuck is Archie?
I think he was
Well,
an owl last I heard.
I mean, he's your
Blade.
familiar, so you can just kind of bamf him wherever, really.
Slade, while you find Archie here, and Renwick will walk over and hand Logus the lantern and just look up at him and say, didn't you say that you can fly now? Well, now you're invisible, so go have yourself a look.
It's not that. Touching the wall right now kind of makes me nervous. Um, if you've noticed, plants seem to not like being at the top of the wall or die at the top of the wall. Makes me think that maybe touching the wall per se may not be the best idea yet till we know what it's about.
I'm not saying to touch it, I'm saying to fly up over it and take a look at what's inside. We don't know that this is the Autumn Court. For all we know, this could be some sort of encampment for enemies or a different settlement. But if you can fly, and this will make you invisible, you might as well fly up there and get a good look.
I can fly, but it's only limited times. I can just willy nilly fly. If we have some time, I'd rather save it to when.
Oh, it's one of those things like you can go invisible, but only when people aren't looking. I get it.
Yeah.
And
So
he
if
just
y'all
like
look the
pats
other
you and
way,
walks away.
Locris is going to say out loud, "Screw this. I'm going to the autumnal court," and walk at the wall. Fast forward and just straight back.
You crash into this wall. It's pretty hefty. You have to fight through some of this dense foliage at the base to even get up to it. But when you do, it is definitely solid.
Well, to speak out loud and say you're going didn't work.
also my flying is kind of limited. I can only move 20 feet at a time. It's not very impressive, to be honest.
Um, I guess
Being inspired by the fly, Locris is going to cast fly.
Well, I can walk up the wall if you don't want to cast anything. And since
Oh,
you've touched
short break.
it,
I get it back.
okay. But you're not very perceptive. I don't want to miss anything.
Well, it's also a 5th level spell, so that's 3 creatures. So I'll tap myself, Logus, and Renwick.
And Gladier, his dragonborn eyes sees all.
Okay, so yourself, Logos, and Renwick. Okay, so you how does this spell kind of manifest in your mind? Like, how do you bring it about?
So since it's touch, I touch them between the shoulders on their back, and 2 skeletal wings kind of unfurl, and then black raven feathers just kind of fill it out.
Renwick just looks
Very nice.
back and like kind of like rolls his shoulders a little bit, and he's like, these really add to the whole aesthetic I've got going on at this point. What with the black leather and the tentacle hand and whatnot. And then he just kind of like flexes a little bit and takes a couple flaps and lifts into the air.
Yeah, I was thinking this does the opposite for me. It doesn't go with my vibe at all. Logos will take off after Renwick.
Okay, so the 3 of you guys ascend. What's the rate of speed on the? Is it your walk speed is now your fly speed?
No, it's a fly speed of 60.
Okay, perfect. So you guys ascend and quickly. As you guys ascend, I'm going to need perception checks from the 3 of you. I'm also going to need perception checks from Blade and Gladier, but hold on to those. We'll get to you in a second.
Well, that's a nat 2 for a 12.
17 for Locris.
Just a 31 for Logos.
31. Okay, so you guys shoot upward. Renwick, you don't really seem to notice, but once Logos kind of points it out to you guys pick it up. But the higher up this wall you go, it looks like the smaller the plants become. And you continue to move up this wall pretty far. Logos, you notice, just from seeing things, there is like a small hole in this wall. and it is perfectly round, and like you can kind of see a bit of glowing light from within, but this tiny hole is mostly blocked by like a creeping vine, and so you kind of spot that on your way up. So tell me, would you continue up over this wall, or would you stop and inspect this hole?
Hey, Renwick, did you see? There's a little hole that seems to be more for your size. Maybe take a peek at what's in there.
Just how, like, what is the size of this hole? You said it was perfectly round, and there's like a faint glowing light.
Perfectly
like?
round and a faint glowing light, but it is probably 2 inches in diameter. It is very small.
He just looks back at Logos and he's like, well, I mean, something might fit in there. Or it might not.
Maybe it's a glory hole for the fall court.
Well, in that case, you're sort of the expert here, what with your fleshlight business, so why
You
don't you
literally
buddy
have
up
a
there?
tentacle that would fit in there.
Tentacles, thank you very much. He's just kind of like wiggling his 5 weird tentacle fingers.
Disturbing. All right, rock, paper, scissors. Oh, who has to check the hole? Anyway,
Deal.
let's just roll D20 off. Rollies.
Fair enough. Well, it's only fair. If we're going to do that, then we're going to at least take a shot. And he pulls out his flask and he passes it to you.
Insight check, Renwick.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, roll like insight versus, I don't know, whatever you prefer,
Yeah.
Renwick. Persuasion, deception, whatever.
I wrote dog shit.
What'd you roll?
14.
14. I mean, it's not uncommon for us to share drinks. And I did just come into a ton of random liquor.
Yeah, but we always bet and you don't always offer a drink before. This is unusual.
I mean, is it really that suspicious for us? And he just kind of like takes a swig and then passes it to you.
Does he gulp? Perception, does he gulp?
I guess.
I rolled a 30 perception. Did he swallow?
Yeah, he did. I did roll stealth, but he swallowed.
Logan's still squinting his eyes, takes the flask, and takes a sip.
It is some of the most potent, delicious honey whiskey you've ever tasted. Go ahead and roll me a d4. No, it's a d6 now since you've already failed once.
5.
You actually rapidly age 5 years. Quickly.
Oh my god.
I imagine you grow like a really, really thin, shitty mustache. You know, like when you're 14. And it hasn't quite come in yet.
So was that your ploy the whole time? To get me to drink this and make me age?
That was fucking great. Thank you for that.
Does nothing happen to Renwick?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened to me? Because that might
Oh.
change my reaction.
Yeah, you would. So I assume that you failed against that 30 dice roll. Then you said you rolled stealth. I didn't want to out you, but I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I rolled stealth to see if I could like fake him out, but no, I did take the shot because I
If you
didn't
took
drink
a
any of it
shot-
back when everybody else did.
You didn't actually fail last time. If you try to overconsume is when it starts to bother you.
Ah,
But
that's what it was.
also, if you've ever failed the con save, it has like immediate effects. So it's which increase veritably. It's a D6 this time. It'll be a D8 and then a D10, and then you could eventually either turn Logos into an old man or a tiny baby.
Word. In that case, how do you want to do this rock, paper, scissors there, bud?
Let's roll the D20 in the chat.
All right.
Lowest number has to go. Those goddamn 15.
He walks over and he puts his hand on your shoulder as you're both kind of like floating there. And he just looks you deep in the eyes and he says, "You've grown quite a bit. You're a man now. And I'm going to need you to investigate that hole." And then he just gently drifts away, not breaking eye contact.
I don't have time for tomfoolery anyways anymore. I'll check out this damn hole. And Logos goes up to check the hole.
Okay, it's pretty small. It's just big enough to put your eyeball up to. But I'm going to say your passive is pretty high. You peek into this hole, and there looks to be a few torches on one side of the wall. And these are teeny tiny torches. Like you're looking in a hole that's about 2 inches in diameter or so. And there's teeny tiny torches that are actually glowing purple on the right hand side of this little hole, and it ventures inward, and you can see bright light coming through the other end. Sunshine perhaps.
Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. There seems to be tiny people living inside this wall. There's little teeny tiny torches inside there, no bigger than 2 inches.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Blade say something about that fancy crown of his giving him advantage checks on lesser fey? If something's living in these walls, there's a good chance that crown applies. We might want to find a way to bust his ass up here, or maybe he can take Abrialter, see if he can't draw these wall creatures out, speak with them.
Well, didn't the troll say something about having a run-in with some fairies and free folk? Maybe this is them.
I mean, I suppose it could be.
I could just blow out the torch. See what happens.
Well, I suppose that's one way that you could approach that situation.
Logos says, "Hey, Locris, you have a way to make us teeny tiny to fit inside this here hole?"
Nope, that one I cannot do.
Gladier, Logos calls down. You got anything to make us teeny tiny?
As these guys kind of call down to you, Blade and Gladier, go ahead and give me perception checks.
God damn.
I had rolled a 27.
Oh, yes.
14.
Gladier, they're up really high, and you can barely hear them, but, they're up there a ways. Blade, your party is up there pretty high up, but with the 27, you clock that they didn't make it very far up the wall. The wall looks like it's 50 feet. They look like maybe they have made it halfway up the wall, but you are certain that Renwick, Logos, and Locris are pint-sized. They are significantly smaller than when they were down on the ground with you.
So when I call down to them, do I still sound as if I was, or do I sound like if I'm smaller?
Like an ant?
You and Renwick and Locris are, as far as you know, you're still normal size.
Do they look bigger to us?
I'd say with your passive perception, yeah, Gladier is looking pretty big, and Blade's looking awful tall.
But would you look at that, Renwick? I guess all that working out, Gladiator, does kind of paid off. Just me, or does that boy look pretty hefty down there?
I mean, he always looks pretty hefty. It just depends, But yeah, now that you're saying it, I mean, everybody kind of looks tall to me, but particularly now, and you'd think that since we're up here, that if anything, they'd look smaller. Do you think there's some fuckery afoot here? And he just like stares down at the group and absentmindedly holds the flask out to Logus to see what happens.
No thanks, partner. I don't drink on the job no more.
Yeah, you really have matured. He just tucks the flask away for now.
Hey, Gladiator, Blade, y'all got anything to make us teeny tiny? And I imagine from their point of view, it's like, hey, Gladiator, you got anything to make us teeny tiny?
I mean, you guys already look pretty teeny tiny up there.
Yeah, how'd you fly up there so fast? Why do you sound
We
weak?
didn't get that far, Gladiator.
Oh, well, look how small they are. They have to be really high in the air.
I don't know if they can. I don't think they can hear us, Renwick. They're not answering my goddamn question.
They look a
I
little
thought
thin.
the lizard was just blind, not deaf. I suppose we could just fly back down there real quick and let them know what's going on.
Locris, we're gonna go down there see if Gladiator Blade can make a teeny tiny fit in the hole. Not just start mooseying on down.
Okay.
Locris dive bombs and then just does that quick pull up.
It does a spinning kick on Gladiator.
So as you guys kind of descend back to the party, Blade and Gladier are giant size. They are 15 feet in height, both of them. They are massive. And, in retrospect, Gladier and Blade, your friends come back pint size. All of them struggling to be about knee high. It's probably the first time Renwick has ever looked eye to eye with either Logos or Locris. But even Renwick, being a halfling, has probably halved himself in size as well.
Oh, I bet you Renwick's so cute right now.
So they're all like a foot and a half high.
Correct. All three of them are about 18 inches tall.
So that would make Renwick about 12 inches tall.
No, he's looking eye to eye with you.
What?
Oh, wait, so I didn't change, but they did?
You all changed, but on a similar level. The bigger folks started shrinking a little before you did, rather. But yeah, currently, all three of you, 18 inches tall, looking each other in the eye.
That'd be wild if you're walking around at 18 inches.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I look over at you two and I go, I like kind of start like patting myself and I'm like, oh, my God. My dad always told me I'd hit a growth spurt. I just thought that I must have skipped it.
No, y'all are. What the hell happened up there?
No,
Jesus
now,
Christ. It's Godzilla.
We don't know if we became teeny tiny or y'all became massive down here.
Gladiator just kind of like grabs Logus by the collar and just like lifts him up in the air.
Let me down, hey.
Squeeze
You
him.
guys are so small.
We
All
small
right.
folk are proud people.
All right.
I can't see a thing.
Well, hello. Do the voice, baby.
Hello. Logus,
Well, maybe
you're so small.
maybe if we stay down here, we'll go back to normal size. Maybe if y'all fly up, y'all become teeny tiny. So at this height, can we fit into the hole?
No, at this height, the hole is only, a couple of inches.
Hmm.
Did you guys
So it's a
try
hole
and
for
climb over
ants.
the wall? Or did you
There's
just
a
stop?
teeny tiny hole up there. We flew up, and I lost a bet. Had to check out this little hole. There's like little teeny tiny torches in there and stuff. And then I asked if anybody can make anybody small, and we kind of came back down, and we were already small.
Yep, for what it's worth, it's almost safe to assume that the creatures that are living within the wall are Fae. So if anything, we could send Blade up there on Gabrielter, and he could maybe use that crown of his to, swoon the whatever's living in these walls. Maybe lets us inside, or we could just take the easy route and walk around the wall yelling until somebody calls down to us, and maybe we could just talk our way into whatever this encampment is.
Well, did anyone try flying over the wall to see if you just, get over?
I don't think we ever reached the top.
You guys only made it halfway.
That's fair. We did get distracted by the hole in the wall.
Well, I mean, we can investigate the hole further, or if you guys just want to zip back up there with your tiny, cute little wings and
Yeah,
so you can
how
get over.
long does fly last?
1 hour.
Okay, you guys are solid.
Well, yeah, I guess in that case, maybe we're overthinking this, and it's good to know that there's creatures living in the wall, but we might not have to deal with any of that to get over. And Renwick's just going to lift off into the air, and on his way up, he'll snag the lantern back from Logus, and just sail up to the top of the wall, see if he can peek over.
All the way to the top with the lantern, you say? Okay. You guys kind of watch as Renwick begins to ascend, and quickly. And as he darts up the wall, at about the halfway point, Renwick, where you notice the hole, you sail upward still. And about that point, you guys kind of notice it's getting a little hard to keep track of Renwick. It would seem the higher he goes, the smaller he becomes. Renwick, you are unaware of this fact, and as you kind of push yourself up this wall with this like a magical enhancement, thanks via Locris, you see that at a certain point, not only is the plant life getting smaller and smaller, but at a certain point, it begins to wither and die. And as you get to the top of this wall, you see nothing but clouds all around you, and it is as if you've been hit with a wave of the most noxious, poisonous gas imaginable. You can't help but to retch. It burns your eyes. You cannot see. You're a teary mess. It's essentially like getting maced. You're vacating all of your face orifices as fast as possible, and it drives you downward. It does not relent. And eventually you find yourself kind of only able to hover near the top of this wall rather than go over it entirely.
After he kind of coughs for a few seconds and regains his composure, I guess he'll make his way back down. And as he passes, I guess I'm going to keep an eye on that hole to see if, as I pass by, anything's changed with that. And if not, I'll make my way back to the party and let them know that there's some sort of magical gas that's basically stopping us from coming up over the wall. It seems to be killing the plants.
Okay, give me a perception check as you make your way down.
22.
As you fly by, The tiny hole is massive. It is 20 feet by 20 feet. Like, it is no longer a hole of inches. As you continue to descend, your party kind of looking out for you. I'll say Logos has the adept passive perception. And Logos, you spot Renwick returning roughly the size of a fly. He is exceptionally small.
Logus will start like swatting at him, shooing him away, thinking it's a fly.
.900 HP worth of damage for an accidental bit slap. Just smear Renwick.
Hey man, no deck save.
Force it doubles
yeah,
your
I mean,
HP. That's an instant death.
I think like if I get back down there and they seem even larger than the last time, I think I would put 2 and 2 together. Thank you. And
You're welcome.
sorry, Katrina brought me whiskey. But I think at that point he would realize that like at least I'm small enough to maybe get in that hole, and he would fly back up toward the hole.
Okay, so I just saw Renwick. That wasn't a fly, and he's teeny tiny now. So it seems that we have to fly up and then back down to the hole. Not sure
Wait,
how
he
you're
didn't
gonna
just
do it.
start. He didn't just start going, did he?
Yeah, he flew back up.
So he's getting smaller to us. So it's going to be even smaller by the time he reaches that hole.
I don't know if it works like that. I think you have to go up to a certain point and then you just stay that size.
We only made it to the hole and we came back this small. It might be
Yeah, but
about perception.
we don't get smaller if we just go up and in that halfway point and back down. I think we stay the same. I don't know. I'm confused, but I think we should fly up and catch up to him.
Lucas is going to try remove curse on himself for the size.
I'm going to say that this is one of those rare instances where remove curse does not seem to work.
Had a feeling. Had to try.
Yeah, so we need to fly up, and Logus will fly up after him, but go up to where he's small enough, and then come back down and join Renwick in front of the hole. Try to avoid the gas because he doesn't want to feel sick. But I don't think I would know that. I would just go up.
Blade, would you mind if I hitched a ride on your fine steed here?
Of course, I'd be honored. Not gonna lie, this kind of makes me a little nervous. Not you, but this whole going small thing.
Shrinking business, yeah, it's weird.
It's just fucking weird.
Yeah, we're gonna get small and then crawl into a hole. Like, what the fuck?
And how long does that last? And does our enemies stay this big? Like, what's gonna happen?
I mean, hopefully it lasts long enough for us to get through the hole. We don't just poof, get big inside of a tiny little hole. Probably die.
New fear unlocked.
Only one way to find out. So yeah, I'll follow in suit with Gabrielter.
And later hops on the back.
Hold on tight.
Do you put your arms around his waist?
Oh, 100%. And my head on his shoulder.
It's so magical.
Okay, so the lot of you fly up. Now, the hole is obviously halfway or so. Renwick said he's going straight for the hole. Is that where you guys are going, or are you guys going to go, up high enough to get small enough to enter the hole?
Yeah, I mean, I would say at least I would on the way up kind of see where the hole was to kind of see what they were talking about, and then being like, oh, okay, well, maybe go up a little further, kind of like they said, and then come back.
Okay, yeah. So you make your way up to near the top of the wall and then make your way back down. And once again, you are roughly the size of a fly. I'm going to say, Renwick, you made your way to the hole first. So with your party, knowing that your party is coming in shortly behind you, you make your way to this like perfectly round hole with a bright light at the end of this tunnel. There's these purple glowing torches on the right hand side of this tunnel, and they look to go inward. So tell me kind of how you proceed as you kind of make your way to this hole.
I think he'd get to the hole, kind of like look in, since he didn't look previously. Locust kind of relayed the information, and then he would kind of like glance around, glance down the hole, look back to make sure the party's coming up, and then he would just proceed in, like, maybe what the equivalent of like 10 or 15 feet, and just try to get like a good lay of the land, and give them room to essentially land as they're coming up.
Okay, so you wait for your party.
Yeah, I'll wait
Okay.
like slightly inside for everybody to regroup.
And in short time, the lot of you kind of find yourselves sitting at the entrance of this, what now looks to be a large tunnel, but hidden by an equally large vine. As you guys kind of look down, you see a row of purple torches just kind of on the right hand side of this tunnel, descending or entering it rather. So tell me kind of how you guys proceed.
Are we all together in the hole now?
Correct. All together in the hole, purple torches line one wall leading into the tunnel. Tell me how you guys kind of proceed.
Do we know, does that lantern, if someone's carrying it, does it shield all of us or just the person carrying it?
What was that?
I believe you said just the person carrying it.
Yeah.
Well, Renwick, maybe one of us should scout ahead a little bit with the lantern before we make our presence known.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Well, given the fact that I'm a halfling, but you're an elf, you might have a leg up with speaking to people that are a little bit more native to these parts. So he'll pass the lantern over and just say, "I'll be close behind you. But if you see anything in particular, let me know." And Renwick will stay like the equivalent of 15 or 20 feet back and let Logus kind of take point, and then he'll just kind of be in between Logus and the party, so he's not completely left alone.
Before we head out, I'm gonna cast pass without a trace on the group. Plus
Sorry.
All right. What did you say, Gladiator? Did you have something you want to do as well?
He's just gonna hop
And
down
also,
onto camping altar and like shuffle up to Renwick and just kind of stare at him for a second, like eye to eye. This is the first time they've been the same height, and just be like, "Man, this is weird."
So I'm not gonna lie, normally you're pretty intimidating, but right now, this is nice. He just stares very deeply into your eyes.
All right. So, Logos, go ahead and give me a stealth check and a perception check. Renwick, you right behind him. Same deal.
Stealth and perception, and it's a +10 with pass without a trace, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
within your aura.
No, I mean I don't. Do you have to be within an aura? Let me check.
I think pass without a trace. It's like within 30 feet of the person you cast it on, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So whoever's within 30 feet of me.
Word. And I
30
have
real feet?
advantage on stealth thanks to my boots. So
I rolled a 39 stealth.
32 stealth
Very nice.
and 29 perception.
28 perception. Oh wow.
Okay. 28 and 29 perception, but you're both in the, what, 30s for stealth?
Yes.
True.
Okay, so as you creep forward, Logos, there is, these purple torches on the right hand side of this tunnel. So as you creep forward, it's not maybe 60 feet into this tunnel. The torches stop, and on the opposite wall are several like torch sconces that seem to lead farther in. But instead of being a lit torch, it looks like a smothered torch. Like there are several torches that have been snuffed up against this wall, and it just continues down. So at this point, tell me kind of how you proceed.
Could I see maybe a perception or survive or something? See any footprints or something to like maybe indicate what may have snuffed out these torches and if they're still around.
Go ahead and give me your call. It could be a survival, could be an insight, could be perception.
It's not
For what
great.
it's worth, if you want me to switch off with you, you can pass the lantern off to me, and I have Devil's Sight, so I have 120 feet of being able to see through darkness, both non-magical and magical.
If you want to take a peek. I only rolled an 18 perception.
I mean, the only footprints up to this point that you can see are your own.
Hey Renwick, you want to take a peek? It seems something snuffed out these torches, took off, but I'm not seeing anything.
That's rather interesting. You'd think the torches would be lit closer to whatever it's at the end of the tunnel as opposed to at the entrance. And he'll take the lantern and trade places and I guess take a look.
Okay, I'll read the same deal. Insight, perception, survival, your call.
Yeah, we'll go perception. Fuck me. 3 for a 13.
A little bit dusty, but as far as you can tell, no identifying markers anywhere.
Yeah, Renwick will just look back. I don't see anything in particular. I guess just flag the group, and he'll just give like the hand signal to like continue down the hall, and he'll move a little bit further in.
Okay, Renwick, as you cross this point and you move a little further in, suddenly to your left, purple torches erupt, and they light and they shoot down the hallway. And to your left, these purple torches kind of lead you to a bright light. The rest of you see Renwick kind of step across this central border, this like central area, I guess, the center of this tunnel, and for whatever reason, he just fades away. It's as if he stepped into like a liquid mirror, and is gone. But lo and behold, Renwick is actually about 5-10 feet on the other side of the party, and he is staring out the entrance that you guys just came into.
So, what the hell did you do?
Should we go up and see if they're okay, or
I mean, something.
I mean, we probably shouldn't just stand here, right?
Yeah, maybe when he faded, it was a transport to wherever the hell this goes. So I guess move forth.
You step through it.
No, walk to where the torches end and just ask Logus, why didn't you guys try lighting the other torches?
Well, we didn't know that was going to happen. We kind of just moved into the room and then he disappeared. Figured I'd wait for y'all before following after.
I mean, we probably should just stand here while he's potentially in danger. Like, maybe should we just go through? I mean,
Yeah, well,
Well,
I mean, maybe he should have waited. Let's have a look around.
Renwick, you hear your comrades talking, and you're roughly 10 feet behind them. You're for whatever reason, you're still here.
Honestly, it may be for the best. I mean, it's more gold to divvy up among 4 than 5.
I got an idea. And Locris is going to turn around and kind of start walking back towards the beginning. And probably see Renwick then. Or is he out of sight?
Yeah. Nope. You pass Renwick. Renwick's just kind of staring at you guys as he's like watching you. Yeah. Or he's aware of you at the very least.
So this thing just turned you around.
how did you get? Glader's gonna step forward into the purple light to see if he gets back to the beginning again.
As you step through it, and your party watches, it's as if as if you stepped into a liquid mirror. It just consumes you entirely, and you're gone. And with almost immediately and simultaneously, with like the lightest flash of light and a bit of pixie dust, kind of, or some sort of faint magical enchanted fairy dust, kind of dripping off of you. You are immediately same situation. As you step through, you're like 5-10 feet backwards, but you are facing the entrance. From your perspective, you took a step, and all of the snuffed out torches on your left became roaring purple torches once again, but you are now staring back at the entrance.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What would happen if I were to just walk backwards down the hallway?
Do you try that?
Yeah, I mean, I might as well.
You continue to gain ground. You walking backwards, you cross the center point, and you watch your comrades get farther and farther away as you backtrack towards this exit.
Well, shit. Let's go catch up to him.
I'm really glad that worked because it would have been super awkward if you just backwards walked out of the hole and tumbled to your death.
Well, I still have flight. I wouldn't have just done that, but like right now I have wings, so it's a good time to test whether I can fall out of one side of this hall.
Yeah. Glitter will copy him with Locris.
Lucas is going to moonwalk.
As you guys kind of figured it out, you begin walking backwards out of this tunnel, and you make it to the other side of the wall. You guys are still very small, and there's some very large vines in and around the area, and a short drop. Well, maybe not now that you guys are tiny, but go ahead and give me some climb checks as you guys kind of make your way out of this hole and down. I'll say you could be athletic about it or you could be acrobatic about it as you make your way down this wall.
Do we still have fly on us?
I'll say at this point it's probably been like 30 minutes. You still probably got half an hour or so.
I'll just fly down the wall.
I was waiting for one of you guys to mention that when I told you had to climb.
How do you
Lucas
like
don't
to climb?
climb.
Okay, you guys could choose to fly if you if you'd like. You descend to the bottom of this wall where the vegetation would be monstrously huge even for normal sized you guys, and is exceptionally large. As you guys float down to the ground and touch down, reconvene on the other side of this wall. With a loud pop, a wooden sign pops out of the ground, and carved upon it in fancy pink letters are the words "Grow like a plant." And then, after briefly displaying these words, the colorful like pink letters on this sign actually become butterflies and begin to fly off in the various directions, and the sign with another pop is gone.
Well, that was something. Grow like a plant. Take a shower. Eat dirt.
Son? Oh wait, I have something that does daylight. Let's see here. It's my little oh, it's not daylight, it's the light spell. It still might work.
I
Oh, but
take
it's
out
more
my decanter of endless water and I just whisper into it the magic word, and I just spray water all over the party, just in case we need to water ourselves.
You guys all within seconds erupt back to your normal sizes quickly, and you guys were kind of close, so you're definitely, there's some awkward like bumping and bouncing as you guys kind of scramble to your feet.
Grader was like elbow deep in his backpack trying to find his gem of brightness at the time, so he probably just fucking bust ass, bouncing all over
Full
everybody.
on Gladier's ass in like all y'all's face.
Gabriel's just sitting on everyone.
And Renwick, you are on fire today, my friend.
I'm telling you, it must be that Fey whiskey. It's really getting to me. Must have, I don't know, made me attune to the Fey's weird fucking magic. He just kind of looks around and he shrugs and he says, it's working for me. Any of you lot? And he just holds the flask up to the party since nobody else but Logos and Locris were around when we took the shots earlier.
Gladier Blade, Renwick offers you a drink.
Well, shit, I could use a little liquid courage, I guess.
Yeah, that's a reason to celebrate.
Did I pass the first time we did this? I can't remember.
You
I think I
did.
did.
You passed, so unless you imbibe more than one drink, you're fine to just drink it. It
We
tastes
just take
great.
like a swig. Like
It's definitely the best, crispest honeyed whiskey you've ever had.
he gets like that like full body shiver, like when you take a shot of like a strong but tasty alcohol, and just ooh, and then passes it over to Blade.
Blade will do the same and kind of just tilt the bottle up, take a giant swig.
I think, didn't you also fail, Blade? No, you didn't fail, did you? No,
I don't.
it was Logos.
No, it was just Logos and me.
Logos and Locris. Okay, for sure. Yeah.
This is my maiden voyage here.
As long as you only have one serving, you are able to stay on your feet. But any more than one serving, specifically the word serving, inebriates you.
Well, it sounds like a big swig might be more than one serving.
Well, because of the Fey lingo, one serving could be as small as a drop. You could technically get shithouse hammered on 2 drops if you tried.
I'm gonna pour a little bit on my finger and flick some in the Gladier's mouth.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Did I succeed?
I mean, I don't think Blader's a mouth breather, so I'm assuming his mouth is closed.
Well, I'll wait till you talk. You don't know what this does.
All right, I want it canon that Logos has a fingerful of whiskey for the next 3 adventures at least.
Just like waiting.
Oh, that's too funny.
I'm dead ass gonna wait till he opens his mouth. I'm gonna flick some whiskey in there.
What? So, Blade, did you have more than more than one serving?
Maybe by accidentally.
One good chug is technically one serving, however big of a pull you want to take off of it. But definitely anything more than one, and then the various effects kick in.
No, I'll stick with just a respectful single serving.
All right, your call. You could be young and hot again if
I don't
you
wanna
ever
be-
get old and wrinkly. Think about it.
I'll forever be young.
All right, Logos. You want to make a sleight of hand check to see if you can't jam your finger in Gladier's mouth?
I would love to.
You can do that thing like babies that are teething. You're just gonna try to rub a little whiskey on the gums.
I'm gonna say, Gladier, give me an athletics check versus his sleight of hand.
Man, acrobatics. He's got a bob and weave.
No,
Don't
he's
tell the
just,
DM
he's
how
just
to
strong.
DM.
He's gonna big brother you and put his face palm situation.
Well, I rolled a 21 sleight of hand.
I rolled a 28 athletics.
Yeah, he stiff arms you at your many attempts to try to flick some whiskey into his mouth.
Do I accidentally go into Blade's mouth?
I don't know about accidentally, but
Can I use the deflection that Gladier does to put it in Blade's mouth?
give me a deception check versus an insight check from Blade.
Well, this is horrible. I'm terrible at deception. It's a freaking 8. I
dude,
just look like
I
a
won't.
fucking weirdo, dude.
It'll probably pass. I've got a +2.
I have +0.
Oh fuck me! This is gonna fail. Oh, okay, it's not bad. So dirty 20.
Oh yeah, not bad.
Not for me.
Unfortunately, Logos Blade sees it coming, and he bobs, weaves, and sidesteps, and you couldn't get through the sheer strength of Gladier nor the cunning of Blade as far as your little trick of the whiskey, unfortunately.
As he's so distracted by trying to force himself on two of our compatriots, can I try to whiskey thumb him?
Yeah, sure. You go.
I have a
Where are
hard
you
pass
putting your
though.
I'll say
I have a
similar situation. I'll let you roll acrobatics or athletics against Renwick's sleight of hand.
I powered stun his ass. No, I'm kidding.
first 8th level spell use?
No, I think he's probably got more than 150 HP.
I do have. Okay, I have gloves of thievery. All right, so. Fuck! It was a 2 for a 17. I've rolled so many 2s and 3s
I wasn't
tonight.
worried about it.
You should have been, though.
Renwick-
I have a plus 10. I had a good chance.
No,
I just
with
have
Renwick
dick
rolling,
luck.
whenever Renwick rolls, dude, I'm good. Roll a 20.
All right, so basically, like Logus and I just look completely fucking inept for a second there.
You guys are just splashing
Yeah,
whiskey recklessly on your friends, hoping that it like
We
gets in their
just-
mouth somehow. You just fucking shit up.
In our constant failures, we accidentally stick each other's fingers in each other's mouths.
Making weird direct eye contact.
Like that scene on 21 Jump Street when they're trying to make themselves throw up in the sun.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Too funny. So, as you guys,
We've had our moment. You can continue now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. As you guys kind of collect yourselves, roughly, we'll call it 6-7 hours worth of traveling. You guys kind of have a choice. Do you continue on? Do you need to short rest, long rest? Tell me.
I'm not
I guess
particularly
that
tired
short
myself.
rest.
But yeah, if you'd like to take a breather, you did make us grow wings. I'd imagine that takes a little bit out of you. I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
just
perfectly
gotta
fine.
just to replenish my ability to cast more spells later.
Okay, word. Yeah, you guys can take a bit of a breather in this autumnal forest as you guys, before you guys head out again.
Glader would take the short rest time because I'm all set. He's just gonna take that time to attune to the Moonstone pendant. Take that hour.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah, same with me. I'll probably attune to the crown.
All right, yeah, very nice.
Locus will take this time to commune with nature again, ritual cast it.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Is there a location of any settlement within 3 miles of us?
Still no.
I gotta go pull it. Is there a 10th rating, a challenge rating 10 plus or creature that is celestial, elemental, fey, a fiend, or undead within 3 miles of us?
Several, yes.
I know the location of the strongest one, I guess, or one of them.
Okay, yeah.
And what is the most prevalent kind of beast within 3 miles of us?
Beast as in animal?
Yeah, it just says beast. Or plant or mineral.
So you chose beast then?
Yeah.
I would say in this particular forest biome, it is probably safe to say that rodents probably outnumber everything else. It's probably rabbits.
A lot of rabbit. So good news, bad news. There's a lot of very strong things within 3 miles of us. I know the exact location of one of them. And there's a lot of rabbits. So it's actually good eating.
All right. Where's the one that you know of?
Yeah, can I point the direction of which way one of those strong creatures is at?
Yeah, it's a couple miles off, but you definitely know the direction.
All right. So how about we walk the other way?
Is it in the direction we're heading?
Once again, no, not particularly.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not necessarily in our way. I mean, we know it's there. We just, if the path turns that way, we maybe need to be a little careful.
Then after our short rest, we just start moving forward.
All right. So, after you guys getting a short rest, as you traverse deeper into the enchanted forest, the atmosphere thickens with magic. This leaves seem to whisper secrets in a language you can almost understand. Their hues glowing with inner light that shifts as if it's alive. The branches of the trees are adorned with clusters of shimmering, jewel like fruits, swaying gently despite the stillness of the air around you. A soft breeze carries the melody of a distant, haunting lullaby that beckons you to follow, promising wonders and perhaps a hint of danger. Here and there, you spot strange creatures peering from behind tree trunks. Tiny fey folk with radiant wings, their eyes twinkling with curiosity as they flicker in and out of sight. And it's one of those things where you can see them, but never directly. It's always in your peripheral. And as you guys are kind of, noticing these subtle changes to the forest around you, the path becomes more direct, more worn, more traveled. You guys find yourself traveling on like a deer trail through this autumnal forest. And the deer trail leads you straight to what could only be described as a couple of columns of trees. Picture like a hedge maze, but these autumnal trees stand in their wake, and it is just like almost a simple tunnel before you. This tunnel of autumnal trees. At the very end of this tunnel, you can see a large, growing pine tree. It is green and in a green field, and it seems out of place almost amongst all of the orange and red. As you kind of approach, the trail seems to fall off. It is just a small cliff or pit, rather. As you coalesce around the end of this trail looking down at this pit, it's only about 200 feet across to this little glen where this green tree is. But within the pit are dozens, maybe hundreds of teeny tiny gravestones. Blue sparkles of magic flitter all around the bottom, as if insects kind of come and go. But yeah, so tell me how you guys kind of proceed. You guys essentially walk up on this pit that is a graveyard blocking your path.
And you said the other side was how far away?
200 feet.
All right. Well, it would be disrespectful to go over to just step on a graveyard. So I will cast Arcane Gate with my Arcanum Mystic Arcanum. and that allows me to create teleportation portals that remain open for 10 minutes. One point within 10 feet of me, and another point within 500 feet. A circular portal 10 feet in diameter opens over each point. If the portal would open in the space occupied by a creature, the spell fails. It's two-dimensional glowing rings filled with mist hovering inches. A ring is visible only from one side, my choice, so we can see it, which is the side that functions as a portal. Any creature or object entering the portal exits from the other portal as if the two were adjacent to each other. Passing through the portal from the non-portal side has no effect. The mist that fills each portal is opaque and blocks vision through it. And then I can rotate which side is the portal side as a bonus action.
Perfect. As you do so, little Chris, I'm going to tell you. Clutch spell for sure. That was one of the only workarounds to this puzzle was to magically transport the entire party. Well done, sir. As you guys, loaded through Low Chris's spell, you make your way to this a small glen nearby, like a single pine tree in a green grove. And yeah, you guys circumvented your second task. So, well played. Okay, so as you guys kind of press forward, this minor obstacle easily bested, you stumble upon a breathtaking glade where the forest opens up to reveal a crystal clear pond surrounded by trees, their fiery foliage creating a natural frame of warm colors. The surface of the water shimmers with mirror-like quality, reflecting the brilliant orange and gold above. Floating above the pond are delicate, glowing petals that drift lazily in the air, leaving a trail of sparkles in their wake. This serene place hums with a magical energy, sending gentle ripples through the air. In the silence, you sense the presence of unseen beings, as if the very essence of dreams lingers just beyond the veil of reality. It feels like time has paused, inviting you to bask in the beauty or perhaps explore the hidden depths beneath the surface. As you guys are taking in this absolutely breathtaking scene, a crash, a loud crash, and an explosion of water in the center of this pond. A house has just manifested at its center, and several wooden planks seem to just appear and then stack themselves in the appropriate order to make a path from the nearby shore up to this cottage, this thatched roof. It looks to be made of clay with a hay roof. It's got a few windows and an arched door. A bit of smoke pours out of the chimney above. Tell me how you guys proceed.
Did you say that this house had windows?
It does.
Can I make a perception check, see if I see anything or anyone inside the windows?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check for sure.
It's a 24 total.
You peer in through the windows. It looks, first of all, it's really dirty. There's like, it's almost like what you would picture to be like a hoarder's house. There are like piles upon piles of like trinkets and goods, and they are covered in dust and cobwebs. But you do see what appears to be a little old lady with green skin and long silver hair knitting near a fireplace as she rocks back and forth in a rocking chair.
I missed it. It was a not. You kind of cut out. It was a. You said with green skin and knitting. What is it?
Here, let me disconnect, reconnect real quick, just in case. Okay, I'm back. So what you see, aside from the dirty home, is a little old lady knitting some piece of clothing next to a fireplace, and she's got long silver hair, and she's in like a rocking chair, and she's just knitting.
She doesn't. She doesn't seem to be aware of us yet.
Correct.
All right, Logus will go back to the party. So it seems that there's an old lady knitting in there. There's a bunch of trinkets and junk all over the place. Very dirty in there. She either isn't aware of us yet or doesn't care that we're here.
Well, I mean, do we need to stop? Do we want to stop?
Well, it seems that these have been some kind of puzzles and tests. I mean, I feel like we could just burn the house down and see what happens.
I mean, that has worked for us in the past, but does anybody have an idea of what we're dealing with here? I mean, could it be Fae? Is it a hag? I mean, is this something we've dealt with before? Does anybody recognize this creature before we go trouncing in there?
It just seems like an old lady knitting. I don't know if it's necessarily anything.
Well, it's the green skin that kind of takes it out of the realm of what we're used to here. So,
Oh, did he say it had green skin?
Yes,
green skin, silver hair.
How far away is this house again? Sorry, I feel like you probably said that
I'll
like 3 times.
say from kind of where you guys were taking in the view, not far, couple 100 yards, we'll say, and the trail you guys were following, the trail you guys have been walking for a significant amount of time now, probably 12, 13 hours or so, you guys have been marching through this forest. The trail you guys have been following leads right up to her front door.
And does it look
Is
like there's
there-
any exit from this, or does this kind of look like it's like enclosed? Like, is this an open air?
Yeah, you're
Is
in
it
like a
like really
glen. You're in like
rough?
a meadow. There is forest around you, but her home erupted in the center of this pond. So there is essentially like a moat around her home, but just as soon as the house arrived, so did this like magically conjured board by board bridge, kind of leading up to her front door. Small bridge, but still.
Well, Logus, can you? I mean, depends. If we can get within 60 feet of that house, and I can see her, like get eyes on her, I can figure out. I can at least narrow down what she might be. I mean, I'm assuming she's probably Fae, but if she's celestial fiend or undead, I will be able to detect it. But I do have to be, you know, at least within like 60 or so feet.
Well, wasn't I just near the house looking through the windows?
Did you stealth up there, or did you just walk up?
I just said I wanted to perception into the window. I don't know if that meant I was kind of looking from afar, or if I was fucking hands on the window looking in.
I took it as you walked right up to the window and gazed in.
Well, shit. If she didn't do anything, then Logus is gonna, or not Logus, Glader.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna walk up. I'll still try and be I don't know. I still want to be kind of. I'll try and stealth. It's probably not going to go well, but he's going to try and be sneaky about it. I just need to get within 60 feet, and they can't be behind total cover. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to like, at least get some sort of angle on the window to like see her.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Alright. That is advantage, disadvantage, so straight roll. That's that's a 6.
You kind of clamber over to the window and peek in. The chair seems to continue to be rocking, but you don't see anyone there. However, the door creaks open wide, and this crooked old lady steps out onto her porch and looks dead at you. Oh, well. Heading to the autumn court, then. Well, right this way. She kind of gestures into her hut and heads inside.
Um, so I'm gonna leave this up to your discretion because it is a feature, a class feature. Um, but divine sense, I can sense anything affected by the hollow spell, know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that's not behind total cover. Do you would I just don't know how obvious it would be because it's not a spell. There's no verbal, somatic, or um, components, material components. So like, but I'm assuming. I mean, I'm guessing something happens, but I don't know. Like, do you want me to try and? Because I don't want like obviously like she steps out, or I don't know. Actually, no. Glader would probably just panic cast it when she stepped out and just divine sense.
I'll say it
So
comes to
maybe
you almost in like an imperceptible form. It almost comes to
okay.
you as if it's like a smell.
Oh, yeah. So is she celestial fiend or undead?
She is not celestial or a fiend or undead.
Okay. So I think later, after she like walks inside, like had it moved an inch, he's just gonna like slowly look back at the rest of the party on the other side of the bridge and just shrug and just kind of like wave them over.
Logus will give him a thumbs up for the go ahead and go on, and then just stay put.
No, you guys.
No, you got this. She told you to go in. We got you out here.
She asked if we were looking for the autumn court, and then she said
She
we'll
said
come this
you.
way.
She said you looking for the autumn court. She didn't say us.
Uh, I mean, are you not looking for the autumn court?
Yes, but she was directing it towards you.
Love that we're just stage whispering across a lake right now.
Richard, you go. Hurry up. Just go.
Gee, Locus, I didn't know advanced age made you cowardly. Now Locus is going to cross over the bridge.
See, Locris is
Um,
going. Me, Blade, and Renwick will be here. Go for it.
Maybe the guy with the crown should come with us. The
You want to
like
risk this sweet baby angel right here? Yeah, right. Yeah,
As
right.
you listed out the people that were hanging back, by the way, Renwick just like starts walking toward the party and following Locris.
Me and Blade here gonna play some tunes.
Blade will shrug and follow.
You damn it. I thought it was
as
Blade and
as
Locus.
all right. So Blade, you're the new crown you got that you attuned to. It gives you advantage on charisma with Fey,
Against Lesser Fey,
lesser Fey.
Lesser Fey.
specifically. Yeah, not all
It's
charisma checks, just
lesser
against
Fey.
Lesser Fey.
Well, I'm still as Blade walks by. I'm going to. How long does this last? Concentration up to 10 minutes. I don't want her to see me do it, so we'll just hope it lasts. I'm gonna like tap him on the back and just be like, "All right, man, just yeah, don't die in there, and maybe try and sway her with your wiles. I don't know." and I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on Blade. So for the next 10 minutes, I'll put the language of the spell in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, but creatures of aberration, celestial elementals, fey, fiends, undead, they have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. Target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such creature, the target has advantage on saving throws against it. And that's for 10 whole minutes. So
Okay, perfect.
That's all I need.
So, as the lot of you kind of cross, Logos, do you remain outside or do you join your party? Bum, bum, bum. Exactly.
Sorry, my headphone died. I had to switch them. What happened?
Do you remain outside or do you join your party going into this cabin?
Logos will reluctantly join.
Okay. You guys enter this pretty filthy cabin. There's dirt and dust and cobwebs over piles and piles of trinkets. There's like little goat trails leading through the whole home, as you know, just stuff everywhere. She gets you over to her fireplace and she settles down in her rocking chair. She gestures to, several clutter covered benches for you guys to sit. And she says, "Well, it's rather simple. I have 5 questions. You only have to get 3 of them right. And I grant you access to the Autumn Court. But there's a catch. If you get one wrong, you're going to have to stick around for a bit of time and help an old lady do some chores." She kind of gestures to the fucking filth everywhere. "So, what say you? You've been deemed possibly worthy by the ancient wood. Do you care to play a game?"
Well, we've come this far. We may as well.
Simple rules. I ask the question, you provide the answer. But if you provide the wrong answer, you have to stick around and help me do some chores. My first question to you lot is: 2 sons and 2 fathers sit at a table for dinner, yet there are only 3 chairs. How so?
It's 3 generations. The grandfather, his son, who then had another son.
She nods. You, very wise. You guys hear what appears to sound like the unlocking of a loud lock, kind of just echoes throughout the house. She continues. A man rides into the Autumn Court on Friday. He stays 3 days, then rides out of the Autumn Court on Friday. How is this so?
He's riding a horse. The horse's name is Friday.
Whatever he is writing, it's named Friday. She didn't specify.
Oh, yeah. Whatever he's riding is named Friday.
Once again, a loud unlocking of a lock just echoes through the cabin. All right, a bit harder then. I am always old, but sometimes also new. While I am never sad, sometimes I am blue. I am never empty, but only sometimes full. I never push, but always pull. What am I?
Can you repeat?
Certainly. I am always old, but sometimes also new. While I am never sad, sometimes I am blue. I am never
It's the moon.
empty. Oh, she kind of claps as yet another loud click echoes through the homestead. Well, I have to let you pass, but perhaps with a boon. Answer me this. If you throw a black stone into a red sea, what does it become?
Wet.
She snorts. Says, all right, all right. Final question. If you have me, you might want to share me. But if you share me, you haven't kept me. What am I?
A secret.
She huffs and puffs and wanders back. She pushes a huge stack of what appears to be just, trinkets, books, and various clothes that is like towers over her, covered in dust and cobwebs. She pushes it to the ground, and standing before you guys is a golden door. She gives it a tap, and you noticed three fancy locks have been removed or unlocked, and she gestures towards the door. The autumn court awaits you, and she gives each of you a speaking stone. These will come in handy. Now go, before I change my mind.
March through the door.
All right. So as you guys kind of march through the door, as you step into this Fey village, a sense of wonder fills the air, enveloping you like a warm embrace. The village is nestled within a grove of towering trees, their trunks intertwined with shimmering vines, and each leaf glowing with the radiant colors of autumn, bursts of orange, red, and gold. The pathways are all lined with soft moss and golden acorns, guiding your step with a gentle crunch beneath your feet. The cottages are crafted from twisted branches and adorned with vibrant fall foliage, appear to have sprouted organically from the earth itself. The roofs are thatched with this glimmering straw and draped with clusters of luminous autumnal flowers that emit a faint but sweet fragrance, the smell of honey and spiced apples. Windows framed with delicately carved wooden shutters glow warmly from within, and the sound of laughter and melodic chimes fills the air, harmonizing with the rustling leaves and the gentle breeze. You guys see fairies, you guys see goblins, you guys see gnomes, you guys see a ladrin, a couple of bugbears, some hobgoblins, all just kind of coming and going, going about their day in this Fey village as you guys kind of step into it. I think that is probably where we're going to have to put a bookmark in our tale, fellas.
Awesome spot.
Yeah, we've done we did oddly good on all these puzzles.
I scoured the internet for those riddles, and you guys fucking crushed them, you guys. I'm impressed.
I'm pretty blown away by the riddles. I think of the 5, I had the answer for 2 of them before they got said, but I was sitting there like grinding my teeth on 3 of them, if that makes you feel any better.
No, I just thought they were clever. So I hadn't heard of any of those, but yeah, well done. You guys had that knocked down. That's the second time you guys are just like riddle masters. You guys realize that?
What horror did we avoid with that fucking canyon?
Yeah, with his little teleportation.
So it was essentially the spirits of the sprite and fairies were going to manifest themselves as a bunch of mage hands, and some of them, the good folks, were going to try to pull you back to the beginning, and some of them, the bad folks, were going to try to pull you straight down. But getting caught by thousands of individual gripping hands was going to either do a substantial amount of damage and then slam you back on your ass back at the beginning, or do a substantial amount of damage and then pin you to the graveyard floor. And essentially, I figured one or two of you might be able to teleport across. I didn't think all of you were gonna go, but yeah, the answer to that riddle would have been the color green. Throwing something green into this pit would actually, it actually wouldn't fall in, and then so you could have utilized the color green to get across the pit. Hence, the green tree and green grass on the other side. Tried to give you a clue there, but yeah, you guys didn't even need to fuck around. You made it.
Damn, yeah, that would have. Yeah,
That would have sucked.
Yeah. That would not
I
have been
figured
fun.
Locris and somebody else were going to be watching from the other side, trying to figure out like, how do we get these fuckers across?
Yeah.
It would have been the
Yeah,
sand pit all over again.
Did you say there was a
Yeah.
tree on the opposite side of the bridge?
Yeah, or the pit rather.
Yeah, I would have been. I was like 2 seconds away from tree striding us across.
Oh yeah, that would have worked too.
Yeah, I get 1 6-level spell for each long rest, and I'm like, do I get something with damage? But I mean, I get it for one fight. This right here might actually get used a little bit more often.
Yeah, fancy.
There you go.
Well, cool. I can't believe you guys cracked my riddle so easily, you sons of bitches.
Just as a reminder, I'm not available next Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was actually going to bring up, I think
Mm.
Will and I were looking at maybe trying to do a different night because we fly out super early in the next day for
Yeah.
Alex's bachelor party. So if we want to shift, we might be able to find a different day, and if not, we can always just scrap next week.
Well, we're not going to have Miramar. We're not going to have this one. So unless someone wants to run something, it might just be easier to scrap if everyone's busy next week.
Yeah, let's just plan a bye week then.
Yeah.
If we're down both campaigns, that way nobody has to try to pull together a one shot or anything, and then we'll just pick up the week after.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, yeah, man. Sounds good to me.
Word. All right, guys. Well,
All right, fellas, take
another
it easy.
fucking great session.
Hell yeah.
Great set.
We run
I
a
guess.
wrap.
Yeah, keep in touch. We'll do this crazy thing again soon, fellas. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Catch you later.
See you guys.